I didn't touch any of them like I wanted to. Like one of the kids, I wanted to slap his little drink out of his hand, but I didn't do that. Happy Wednesday morning. Getting off to a late start. We are heading to Costco. I'm pretty excited. At first I wasn't gonna bring the video camera, but then I realized Costco is like one of my favorite places.
Just got to Costco. In the car, I ordered a pizza for our family, double sliced. That's our pizza. Hi baby, I love you. Good morning.
Excuse me, sorry. Hey. We ended up with an extra soda cup. Do you guys want one?
This kind lady gave us this. Probably saw us and took pity on us.
Costco members look out for each other.
Oh, and that happened the last time we were here. Someone gave us free drink.
Fireworks. I don't know how this happened, but I'm spending $140 on products to remove fleas from our dog and cat. These are for the 4th of July party. I'm guessing 600 bucks. Six what?
645.
645.
You want to put your money where my mouth?
I'm saying 800 on the nose.
Get it out of the way.
It's always more than you think it is. At least how we shop.
Especially when you bring Ben.
Yeah. Yes, especially when you bring Ben.
Oh,
$7.45.
So you almost $100.
Oh, you were closer with your first guess.
Yes. But I said 730. I said 630.
Hey, memory was the closest.
We spent $140 on our 4th of July party, which is coming up in 5 days. But that's enough hot dogs for 100 people, hot dogs and buns. And it's enough burgers for 40 adults. And that's like cheese and bacon and buns and good pickles. No one's RSVP'd yet, really, so we have no idea how many people are coming. The reason why I'm talking about prices specifically for the 4th of July party is I want to show you guys just one example of a way to spend 150 bucks to entertain what could be 150 people. And 150 bucks is not a lot for a ton of people, for a pretty kick-ass party. If you want to spend less, and if you want people to contribute more, or if you have way less people, I mean, not everyone needs to invite 150 people to your party. There's ways you can do amazing parties for the neighborhood for probably 30 bucks or 20 bucks. And I know it's not necessarily easy. Hospitality is always difficult, but I want people to realize it's not always money that prevents it. And I think a lot of people are waiting for a time when they're gonna get more money before they do something like that. I hope that people stop waiting. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story. Yesterday, I was walking around this yard just like this, and I was talking on my weekly phone call with my sponsor from Seattle. And 7 was trying to get my attention, and he said, I need to talk to you, it's important. And I look at him and there's like tears in his eyes, and he's with his friend Noah, and he tells me that there was these kids at the skate park that were like bullying him and pushing him around, and then they chased him and wouldn't let him go. So immediately I get in the car and I start driving with 7. And I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm asking him all these questions, just trying to clarify like what really happened. I pull up right here, and sure enough, these guys are all right over there. I hop out of the car, I slam the door, and I run over here, and there's a guy trying to ride his bike behind the dumpster. There's 3 kids over here. I'm like, hey, stop, get off your bike. And all the kids are right here. There's 4 of them. And sure enough, one of the kids is wearing the blue shirt, the one that 7 said was pushing him. So I rallied up all the kids like right here, and I said, get off your scooters, get off your skateboards, we're gonna talk. So I asked him what happened. Then a minivan pulls up, screeches into the parking lot, and this like really big lady gets up, and she has a guy with her. She's like, what's going on here? That's my kid. And I'm like, oh crap. And she goes, anytime an adult's talking to my kid, I want to be there. And I go, well, that's fine. I have no problem with other. I kind of went off on them. I said, you kids, if you guys are going to gang up on somebody, first of all, that's not courage. That's not manhood. And that's only going to work when you're 8 years old. No one else for the rest of your life will ever look up to you just because you're picking on somebody because you're in a group. And I said, I am not going to let that stand with my son. I said, I live 2 minutes from here, and if I hear about this happening again, I'll be down here in 2.5 seconds. I think they got the message. They were kind of scared, and I want them to be a little bit scared, because I want them to know that they're not going to get away with something like this. I raised my voice, and at one point I wasn't sure if I should do that, but there was also a part of me that was like, that's the only way I'm gonna get these kids' attention. This is like a rough neighborhood. Like, these kids here, they're used to F-bombs, they're used to violence, but I did want to send a message. At the end, I shook their hands and I said, my name's Ben, and I want you to know who I am, and if you have any problems, you can come to me. And I shook their hands and got all of their names. I was actually glad that I did that, because I wanted to let my son know that he's worth defending, and that I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty for him. We went running right afterwards. I could hear 7 telling all the other kids the story, and it was already getting exaggerated. It was like a tall tale, you know? I was like Paul Bunyan. He was like, and then he slammed the door, and they were like telling all these details. And I think my kids know that I'm not like gonna just go around picking fights, but I also want them to know that I'm not gonna back down for them, ever. Every time this happens, I have an opportunity to show my kids that they're worth fighting for. And we will always choose the peaceful route if given the option. But if there's a fight, I don't want my kids to wonder whose side I'm on. We have had a long day. We are back at home in bed, and it's time
for
Q&A.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All of the questions today are from either Facebook or Instagram, which means if you want to ask questions in the future, you got to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Links below. Ashley is asking, do you rely on income from casinos for your day-to-day living or your property purchases? And she's asking about budgeting and fixing up property. Our finances are really complicated, in a way. Most of our money comes from, I think it's 3 places. One is the video business I own, named Epifio. 2 is a blackjack business that I own, where we train people how to play blackjack online. 3 is owning property. I feel like I'm missing something. And we don't really have a system of budgeting. We spend big, and we can also live really tight. So we just try and be flexible and go with it. Robin, Ruby, Guy, Laura, Andy, you guys all want to know about the waffle recipe. I'm going to put the link below in the YouTube description to the waffle recipe that I use right now. Use about 3/4 of the sugar and about 5/6 of the butter that it calls for. Guy asks, how do you and the family know if you're headed in the right direction in life? You've made some pretty profound moves in the past 15 or so years. How did you know each life jump was the right one to take? That is a great question. Honestly,
You don't always know.
we never knew. The only way we ever knew was in hindsight. And I think in that way, in hindsight, every move was the right move. Not because there's a right or wrong move, but because...
Honey.
Hey. Every move was the right move, not because it was like the most optimal or correct or whatever, but because we did it with the best of our ability. We made the decision with the best of our ability, and we followed our convictions. We think all you can do is, based upon what you believe right now, doing the best that you can. Okay. But you're going to change over the years, and whatever your best is also going to change. That doesn't mean you beat yourself up for the past. Laura says, family rhythms, you have a lot. Morning coffee, da-da-da-da-da-da. Was it hard to stick with at the beginning? And why do you choose certain days weekly for each thing versus just when you feel like it? What keeps them from being overwhelming? Okay, the weekly rhythms are really important. What keeps it from being overwhelming, these are the things that bring us life. They don't always bring us life in the immediate, but over the long run, these are the things we think make our life the most healthy. Running, going to the gym, spending time with our kids, reading and learning together.
I think it would be harder to have that many rhythms if Ben didn't work at home and I wasn't already at home and the kids weren't already at home, because we're able to make our own schedule.
And it should be noted, that's not a coincidence. That is why I work from home. That's why I'm not looking for a job. I could probably make more money someplace, but our home life is the most important thing to us, and therefore our home schedule is the most important thing to us. We've talked about this in other videos, but we believe if it's important, you'll schedule it weekly. Natalie wants to know, did Cammie or Ben go to public high school? If so, what is the best advice you could give to someone who is a freshman in high school?
Yeah, we both went to public high school.
And I graduated. Barely.
If you're a loner and don't have many friends, that's okay, because most of those friends probably won't be your friends in 10 years anyways.
Amara asks, how did you decide to homeschool your kids? The short answer is because we decided we wanted to be the most influential people in their lives, not strangers or school teachers that don't care about them or that we don't know. This is from Garrett. Keats wants to know what you feed Rainier. And he likes it when you tickle him.
Oh, we feed Rainier mama's milk.
Mama's milk?
Breast milk. I don't know.
And thanks for that feedback about tickling him. I'll try to do it more. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your questions. We're not able to get to all of them today, but keep on posting them. We're going to bed because we've had kind of a long day. Have a good night, though. You gotta lift him up higher because you don't have any pants on, and then I can't show that. But I want to show his cute little face. You know what I mean? Oh, he's gonna grab that.